right, guys. Well, welcome everyone to another Freedom 35er sit down. This is a series where we get to know more about creators and artists in the CNFT space. My name's Tommy. I go by TOWMY on Twitter and Discord.
TJ, I go by Lazy T on Twitter and Discord.
And I'm Tom. I'm the other Tom. I go by Lavish Bear.
And tonight we're joined none other by Corn and friends, Cornelius and Jabronius. Guys, welcome on.
What's up? Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been awesome, man. Seeing you guys jumping all over the place through Twitter, through Discord, promoting your new project, Corn Gang. So we're excited to learn a little bit about that tonight, and hear some of the backstory behind it, what you guys have planned. So we always kind of ask this when we bring guests in. What got you guys into the actual CNFT space in the first place?
Yeah, why Cardano?
It's the beginning of a deep rabbit hole for me.
Yeah.
I originally got into, Cardano maybe around the time of the last Super Bowl. I was chatting with my brother-in-law about cryptocurrency, and he was just like, "Hey, you gotta get in and check out Cardano. Like the fees there's no fees or anything really." And I bought into it a little bit, and then all of a sudden on a Reddit post, I come across Space Buds. And I'm like, what's this? So, I'm fortunate enough to have bought into it and looked past all the Reddit comments are like, this is a scam, this is a scam. And that just sort of drove me down a deep rabbit hole. And Corn did some work for me about 7 years ago for these pieces that are behind me, actually. And I knew he was kind of trying to get involved with Ethereum NFTs, and it wasn't working out that well for him because of the gas fees. So I had reached out and said, hey, you should come over to this space. Like, let's build something here. Like, we can do something really cool with this sort of community that's just popping up and is in its really early stages.
Nice.
It was an easy decision for me because most of the time I just made free content on TikTok or on YouTube. So it was nice to actually be compensated for all that work.
Well, and that was like April, May when you made the switch from Ethereum to Cardano, you'd say, Corn?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So early in there. Started before us for sure. That's a couple months before you got in, Tommy, for our start, and where we started with Cardano.
I was going to say, I think I was the first one out of our group kind of who got us into the NFTs themselves. We were kind of our Freedom 35ers thing got born from about back in 2017 when we were investing heavily into like XRP and Tron and all these random coins at that time. And we were like verifying ourselves on the Binance website, sending our IDs to China. Who knows where we were doing everything at that time. It was just fun to invest in crypto, and we swore we were going to make it back then. And 4 years later, here we are. We're finally into the NFT market, and I actually stumbled across you guys. One of my first NFT. You guys were. I think I messaged Corn on this. You guys were my first NFT series that I ever minted. Your series 2. That was when I had found you guys back in about August. So your artwork, man, it was so unique, and it was something about it, man. It was a little, had a little bit of the comedy edge to it, and it's just reminded me something of like the cartoons we watched when we were growing up as kids. So it was something cool that kind of drew me to you guys. And I had a question to you so where did this start from? So, why Corn? Where did that come from?
Okay, spoiler, my real name isn't Cornelius, but I have roots in street art and graffiti, and that was my tag name back in the day.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I wanted to find a tag name that you wouldn't expect to see on a wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found it. I thought it was like, I thought the name was funny, but now I love it. All right.
Yeah,
that's great. Different.
I'd seen one of your interviews where you guys were talking. You're like, not to hate on the animal profile pics over here, but why not Corn? And I think that it fits so well for this for the 10K drop for where you guys are at. So can you guys explain a little bit about Corn Gang? I know I've been watching a little bit about what you guys have going on, but it's more than just an NFT drop. What do you guys kind of got planned out, and how did it start?
Yeah. So as you said, I said it perfectly. It's more than an NFT drop. It's also an access token to sort of the community that we're building here for creating a TV show. And you know, it's your Corn Gang NFT will get you into like a private channel that we're creating so that you can verify that you're an owner, and then we'll be able to chat a bit more intimately in that space with people that are already own Corn Gang NFTs. And then on our website, when the first episode's available, we'll have some sort of verification process, sort of like what MetaMask is. And I know that Nami has something pretty similar to that available right now. So we'll be able to build that into the website, and you'll be able to access the content only if you own a Corn Gang NFT.
That's awesome.
It's the access token. Yeah, that's what you guys think. You guys refer to it as the access token. So you get that, you're part of the club, and then you can also watch the show.
As far as the show goes, like if you own the NFT that's going to be on an episode, can the person who owns NFT do the voice work?
That's definitely a cool kind of thing that we could try and work into it for sure.
I mean, that'd be awesome. I would love that.
We've definitely had some people reach out and be like, hey, we're interested in doing some voice work. If you ever need any help, like we're definitely no strangers to collabs either. So we definitely feel like we're going to be collabing on this show a lot as well.
Yeah. I remember seeing, I think one of the first or second NFT I bought from you guys when you had done it. You guys had done some stuff with Swing Pie and Dan Garrity on there. Some of the music, that stuff, the music is awesome, man. What you guys are doing. How did you guys come about getting in contact with them? Because I see you guys go back and forth on Twitter a lot with them.
Yeah, I mean, us and Swank had like pretty similar starts. It's pretty similar to like what Claymates did and Yummy Universe did at the beginning, where they were just small drop projects at the beginning and really thought about what they were doing. So when we had the opportunity to collab with Swank, like we were like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. Like he's got a really unique artistic style, and we've also got a pretty unique artistic style. So when we put those kinds of things together, it's like you're really going to be able to see what's Swank, what's Corn, and you know, we had kind of put it all together. And at the very end, Swank was like, hey, I've got this buddy who's, you know, a real rock star, Dan Girardi, and he's like, he wants to be a part of this. Like, you down to have him be a part of it? And we're like, absolutely. Like, let's get some music in this and bring like another level of, you know, entertainment within the piece itself. So, I mean, that's sort of how it all came together. And we all kind of had like the same ideology with how we, you know, interpreted what we were going to collab with, and really just enjoyed the process, because it turned into a second collab as well. About like a month or so later, we dropped another set of collabs with them, and really, you know, it's a really fun process with Swank and Dan. They put some fun stuff together.
Yeah, I can imagine. I remember watching that. I think the second drop you had, it was more like, it reminded me of like some Mortal Kombat music almost, like just sitting in the back. It was dope, man. So that's awesome that you guys are doing those kind of collabs. It seems to me that at least Corn, from what I've seen in the past, music obviously has been heavily influenced in some of the stuff you've done. I didn't realize, but when you had tweeted out, you had done some stuff for Lil Nas X on one of his videos in animation. And then for another rapper I'd seen, some guy named Samad Savage as well. How did you guys get into, or where did you start with that?
Well, I tweeted at Lil Nas, and I just tweeted a video I made for a musician that I went to high school with, a SoundCloud rapper. And
everybody knows a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah. And his manager emailed me after that, and yeah, it was just bizarre, because you don't ever expect
that's wild,
somebody that big to respond on Twitter. And I mean, last year I even said happy birthday to me on Instagram, which was even
really
weirder.
That's wild.
He's like so cool.
He's like one of the biggest artists out there. That video had like 12 million views on it too, and that's awesome, man. That is insane. So you've gotten into the music video and animations prior to you getting involved with the actual NFT world and all that. So you've been doing this for a while, it seems like. Yeah.
That's what awesome. I was trying to do initially, but then it's just being a one-man team. It's not worth like to pay, because I mean, it just kind of kills me to make a whole music video.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then will Corn and Friends, will this be the first the first like show with like episodes and stuff you guys have worked on?
Yeah. I mean, I've done some shorts, but this will be the first more narrative based, like TV
I know.
style.
Yeah, I know it's a lot like, community driven too, and you're going to take a lot of input from, what the holders want to see and things like that. Have you guys have any plans? Are they going to have like a continuation in some of the episodes, or is it kind of going to be standalone, like the 5 to 10 minute ones, or?
No, it's a great question. It's that's something that's probably going to be one of the first things that we vote on with the community, is whether they want to see like a robot chicken style show that's more kind of like random pop culture sketches, or if they'd want like late South Park kind of where it is that continuous story from beginning to end of season, or if they want something like early South Park, for another example, which like the end of the episode ends and the next one starts and it's like nothing ever happened. So
Right.
there's definitely a lot of different directions that we can go. I think the one thing that we can say is that we will not be doing like a dysfunctional kind of family and doing like a copy paste of Family Guy or Simpsons or
American Dad.
Exactly. We will not be doing that. We'll be going like our original, creative, our usual selves when Corn's creating something. So I'm like so stoked.
The idea of like a sketch or like robot chicken, like short kind of thing. I mean, that's interesting, especially because like all the Corns are 101s. So you have so many different ones with different attributes. You could put them in so many, settings and things like that for different sketches. That actually probably work pretty well. I like that. Those are interesting ideas. That's pretty cool. I never even considered something like that too for the show.
Yeah, I've got a pretty out there idea for how to apply the Corn Gang to episode 1, but we're still working through it, so I don't want to reveal too much, but I think it's pretty popular pop culture that it would be touching on, that a lot of people have watched. So,
and it really feels like, I mean, it's leaning towards like comedy, definitely too, right? Like, okay.
There's just so
the Corn is just fun like that. It makes sense.
Are you guys bringing writers or people to write the scripts and stuff like that? Or are you guys collabing and doing that yourselves?
No, we're going to be collabing and doing it ourselves, like with the community. We're going to be doing some like bi-weekly live streams along the way that'll be organized on our Discord through the new events feature. So like if you followed us during our stale pool, might have been a little bit before, but we had a live stream out there for Corn creating the wiggle duck that went with that delegator pool.
I've actually seen that before.
Yeah, so we're going to do something kind of similar in that fashion to kind of bring everybody behind the curtains for how an animated show even develops, and just seeing like the artistic process that Corn goes through. So I think that'll be really good and engaging, and it's not like you're buying into Corn Gang on Wednesday and you don't hear back from us for 3 months because we're working on the show. We're just we're trying to keep everybody updated along the way and just show, hey, this isn't like a day process. We don't just think it and it's there. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to put something like this together. But just to be rest assured, we're working on it.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are setting really good expectations too for your actual, fan base and people supporting you, because right now we're in that flipper mentality. I feel like on Cardano, when it comes, if your project, you buy it, people want to make money, and if they don't, they're out to the next project. So I think you guys are setting up something cool, and it's definitely a unique path inside this space itself. A first, an animated series on Cardano. How is that actually going to work when it comes to being on Cardano? Are the episodes going to be released through your website? How's that process going to happen?
Yeah, they'll be all on the website. So the only way to be able to access them will be to use like our verification system on our website. So it'll like ask you to connect a wallet essentially, then it'll check the wallet if you have a Corn Gang NFT, or we're also going to include like the Series 1 and Series 2 NFT holders, just because they've been supporting us the longest. They're truly the ones that, even let us kind of put this idea together that it could be something that's possible. So we definitely didn't want to like really leave anybody out there. Some of the collabs are difficult, I think, to get onto the verification process, just because like, for example, like we did the NFT update, and that's a promo card that has, a bunch of other projects associated with the policy ID. So that might be a bit more difficult to get somebody like connected on our website with that. So we kind of had to sort of draw the line where it's solely Corn and Friends individual releases are what kind of qualifies you.
Yeah, I think I remember I think when I first bought that first set of series, I knew there were one-on-ones inside a series. That's a Series 2 and Series 1. And I tried my hardest with my head floaty and my flossy mans, trying to mint a few of those to get the 101s. And unfortunately, was not lucky enough to do that. But I think one of the first things that I've even seen with you guys have been here. You guys are OGs in this space itself. You guys have been here since the beginning. One of the first things that I had bought when I first got into the CNFTs was a Cardano bit. And then you guys actually had partnered with that first 100, the call bits for them, right? You guys had your own 101 artwork with them. How did you guys go about doing that? Was that something you knew what it would turn into, or how did that come about?
That was Tyler with Spaces reaching out to us. He's a great friend of ours. So he was involved with the collab bits drop, and he said, hey, like, would you like to be an artist on this? And we just sort of immediately said yes. Because we were minting at the time. I think we were one of the first. I don't have an exact count, so don't hold me to this, but I think we were one of the first 25 projects to mint in the space with sort of like that ideology that we're going to be around and hang out. And I mean, I can't even tell you how many of those projects are still around that are, part of that count now, that have kind of, either dipped out, or the artists aren't hanging out as much in the discords, and it's kind of been fan taken over to keep alive. So
I feel like for you guys too, being as early as you are, one thing I've like, for being as early as you have been, it's been a lot more of a organic growth for you guys and developing a true fan base, compared to, some of the other ones that got popular quick and grew to fame and then kind of fizzled out. Like, you guys have been like OGs in this space. And, I can see by some of the people that surround and support some of the stuff that you guys are doing right now. And that's really cool to see that you guys are, have a good support base inside this Cardano family. So that's cool to see.
Organic is the only way to do it. It's so obvious when you have bot followers, and it's just like, looks so sad.
It screams out just the desperation that, and also just what we're here for, which isn't the actual art of the community. And you guys not only been involved with your own drops, but you guys have been collecting since early on too, right? You guys have been in on some of the first drops that were on Cardano as well. Tommy, I know you just brought up your Cardano punk or whatever it is, because you had to make a big decision early on when you bought him, didn't you?
Dude, Bitpunks and Space Buds were my choice, and I picked Bitpunk over a Space Bud back when it was like 600 ADA, and that's the biggest regret I've had inside this space. So, but it just shows you how early we are too. I didn't know, wasn't doing any research. I was just a brand new consumer into this space, so I had no idea what I was doing. I had to definitely do my own research, and it's crazy that it's only been a few months now. We're in November, but it feels like, it's been years inside of this. I don't know if you guys get that kind of feeling too.
Yeah, some of the drops so have been absolute like war fields trying to get some of these.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, just sending your ADA off and hoping to get something back in a couple days, sort of meant everybody just being okay with it. It was that time that we were like, we want to do like instant minting. We want to like, if for series 1, we were like, if you send your ADA, you get something back in 10-15 minutes. There's no waiting or anything like that. So we've always been essentially like looking at all the other projects as a whole and kind of seeing what they're doing and what's working and what's not working, and figure out how can we make it the most pleasing experience for everybody possible, so that there's no red flags, there's no questions about our authenticity or anything along those lines. I think we've done a really good job at showing that we're here today, we're here tomorrow, we're here next year. We've got plans for 2022, and come join the Corn Gang, because it's not going to be a rug pull in any way, and all the evidence is here for it not to be.
Yeah, I think for you guys too, I know that's probably a real touchy subject when it comes to, especially in this space today, on how to mint, because what are you're going to disappoint somebody at some point during this time. You can't make everybody happy. But how did you guys come to, what is your actual minting process? How is that going to work for you guys with Corn Gang?
Yeah, we've got a wonderful developer out in the UK that we met at the beginning of this space as well. Our team is the same team that it was back in April. We're really happy with the people that we have on. It's going to be a single mint address drop, just because that's what we are comfortable with. It's what our developers comfortable with. I'd love to work in that sort of dust into it for queuing and reserving, but from what I've seen, when you start adding that in and throwing it exclusively on the website, you're kind of like putting yourself out there to have like a DDoS attack possibly, or have the website crash for whatever reason, or something go wrong. And we've just found this is the best way, just to put the address out there. I don't think we're going to sell like 10,000 corns in 10 minutes or anything. So I think everybody who knows about Corn Gang and is interested in Corn Gang should be able to get their hands on, you know, one or two if they're interested. Just because we're not sort of trying to inflate our numbers or try and create this fake hype that there's all these people here looking to get one. Like, you better be here on the dot at 1800 UTC and trying to put one in, because, you know, there's 15,000 people in this Discord and only 10,000 available. So we do have to kind of go that way with the single address this time. But, you know, as the market, as we can, you know, test out new functionalities on the back end, and, you know, feel confident in doing that, we'll want to implement that as well if we have any new drops. But the drop after Corn Gang is just going to be Series 3 in about, I think it's June.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the organic growth for what you guys are doing is good, because again, if you draw that 10,000 crowd in and you sell out in a few minutes, it's awesome. I'm sure you guys are funded all that stuff, but at the same time, your true core fan base may not be there. They may kind of continue to move on. So what you guys are selling is to your true fans, and they're going to be the ones supporting the project. So that's definitely a good, I like your guys' take on it. I feel like we're kind of the same way over here with us. We may not have the most followers, but everything that we're doing is organic, because we want the people that stick around because they actually enjoy the content. So I really respect that for you guys on that.
And you guys, I mean, it's limited to 5 per transaction, right? So there's some limitations and stuff as far as, you know, keeping it fair for everyone trying to mint, you know, at the same time and everything too, right?
Yeah, for sure. We're going to make a judgment call tomorrow, but it is looking like 5 per transaction is going to be the max.
Okay.
I mean, that's going to be the highest that we go one way or another. It just helps with network congestion, and those people that want to support us early can save a little bit on fees here and there. And if they're trying to do something on like Yoroy or Nami and it starts acting up, then at least you only have to get 1 transaction in to get a few, instead of having to worry about getting 5 transactions in over the course of like an hour. And
well, I mean, besides those, which those are, you know, the congestion is kind of out of your hands if everyone's there for it. It just is what it is. But you did mention, like with some of the websites where we've seen launches and you get all pumped up and ready. Oh, this is going to be easy. You just click the button on the site, no problem. It says it refreshes. I mean, and then the whole site crashes, as opposed to Discord. I mean, Discord's never crashed and you're posting the wallet. It just kind of seems like the safest, easiest way, like blockchain, we're going to put this up, good to go.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have the address on our website. There's a little buy button on corngang.io. So it'll be there and available. That's kind of what we are pushing people to, but we also have like the Discord as backup. So if anything does happen, there's still an outlet for people to find the address at the exact drop time, and there's not all this kind of confusion that's going on.
Yeah, you don't have, you're going to make sure that the addresses match up. I've seen far too many projects lately that somebody will post one on the website and another on the other, and they cause all kinds of stuff, dude. It's been crazy out there. So that's good to hear, man. TJ, do you have something you want to say? Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off earlier.
Well, he answered. I was going to ask if they're dropping it in multiple places or just the website. He said the Discord and the website. So that's what was one of my questions.
Nice.
As far as I see your hat, Corn, are you guys going to make apparel?
I was going to ask that too. When are we getting the corn hats?
I like the corn. I got to wear a new hat for the show. I'll put it forward this time.
So I guess this is an early prototype. I just wanted to, I mean, I've been wanting one, but I just finally just went on Etsy and found an embroidery thing, and I just ordered it. It was like very expensive for just buying one, but this isn't the hat. It's just like the one in my cartoon. Here, I'll just go back to it. It's like it's supposed to be like a mock-up, well, not a mock-up, a representation of my favorite hat, and it's just I wear it probably way too much. It doesn't say corn on it, but I want it to say corn on it. So I have to find the right material for the hat, and then we can do it.
Gotcha. Okay, understandable.
I'm definitely pre-ordering for that. Would you guys ever be
100%.
opposed to doing something like, have you guys seen the stuff that people do with like some of the projects with NFT link and things like that, where you can mint the actual NFT and tie it to a physical product like that?
We actually collabed with Crypto Nitties on their
Oh.
series 2 or their season 2. So there are 10 NFTLs of corn out there.
Really?
And
Oh, wow.
some of those cool nitties that those are really cool.
Yeah, the ones with like the
need to-
skateboards and stuff. Yeah.
It's like all AR
Uh-huh.
compatible and everything. So I was just telling my fiance the other day, hey, we need to go to like some museums so that I can just like bring up the corn and have him grinding on like on a famous painting or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this belongs here.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so I think you guys definitely have like that comedy style approach on some of that. I'm a legacy pass holder for the 2500 club, and I know you guys are as well. So I got the airdrop of the Halloweeny. And and I got that up and I had no idea what I was about to get into, but it was definitely very funny and unexpected too. Is that kind of going to be how the comedy style is going to be approached inside of Corn Game?
I hope so. I mean, ultimately, if people don't want it to be that spicy, we have to let it not be that
Yeah,
spicy.
right.
But I really hope so.
Yeah. I was gonna say, 'cause I know you
I don't like making things that are just like completely like, oh, you made that, or like
Right.
really uncomfortable. Like it's all lighthearted. Like it's
Sure.
it's not like
Yeah.
But I would
Yeah.
like to keep it that way. But yeah.
I thought it was hilarious. So it's right up my like humor alley. So I'm all for that. Do you guys ever have any like the artwork and stuff that you have like that cartoon style? What was that inspired by? Because it does remind me like almost like the 90s cartoons back in the day. Did you have any inspirations when you were as you started drawing?
It actually happened my senior year in college. I was majoring in economics, but also decided to do studio art just because I like I wouldn't say growing up. Recently I was into graffiti and street art. So I wanted to just keep being creative. So I where's I going? Studio art, double major. I made some paintings, but then it just kind of it took longer than a digital painting.
Yeah.
And there's no undo button. So naturally I had to ditch that. And then I just tried learning animation because that was also around the time Rick and Morty came into, I guess, my view. And I realized that you can actually make cartoons that aren't for little kids. And so I started learning how to animate from YouTube.
Really? So have you been doing it for pretty long now, or has it been a few years? I mean, because obviously I wouldn't guess if it was a few or not. Like it looks like it's legit as hell. It looks awesome for what you're doing so far.
I think I started in 2017.
Really?
Oh wow,
that's
Or
awesome, man. Like
2016.
it's impressive.
It happened when my girlfriend at the time, fiance now, spilled coffee on my computer and I had to get a new one. And I ended up getting a drawing tablet computer. So it's like, it worked
Nice.
out perfectly.
Yeah, it was fate, right?
And then, so did you guys have a idea for I mean, because you started a long time ago, did you already have the idea for the cartoon when you guys first did the first drops you guys were doing back then? Or was that something that developed, like, I want to make a cartoon and put my animation to, a different use here and make an actual like show, and then decided to kind of crowdfund it through doing more NFT drops?
I think it was just natural. I mean, the way that I was like learning how to animate was putting out short animations on social media. And it was, I guess, once Jack brought me, namely Jabronius.
I know, it's so
once
weird putting yourself out
Jabronius
there.
brought me into Cardano, it just made sense to continue to fill out the not the universe. Well, I guess it could be a universe of all of the characters I've created over time. So yeah, the Corniverse. So it was a very.
I mean, they definitely complement each other. It makes sense how one will lead to the other. And then I kind of like that idea. Instead of I don't know how you would kind of crowdfund, I guess, a TV show without, already a built-in fan base if it got canceled or something from another network. So bringing it in with the art and then keeping it for the holders to actually, view and enjoy. I really like the ideas for that. I don't think we've seen anything. We talk about utility all the time with projects, and that's the big word everyone uses for its value, but getting access to a show, like having a subscription service essentially through getting to hold the art too and get an actual corn. It's not like you're just paying $10 a month to get to see it.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique model for sure. Like the NFT space in general, I think provides so many new opportunities for a lot of different artists, creators, whatever it may be. We had talked to a guy, Jason Matias, last week when we were doing this, and he's a photographer. And he's like, look, I would have never had this audience, had it not been for the NFTs themselves. So, on your side for the animation, I think that's I don't know anybody else, at least in this space right now, that's doing that. So I think it's definitely something unique that you guys have going on. I'm excited.
It gives you guys more, control of everything instead of giving it to just a service or a TV or station and stuff like that. You guys can really choose what you want to do with it, which is just awesome.
Yeah, that's our favorite bit about it, is that we don't have to go through 3 people at Netflix and 2 people at, CBS, and they have to all give their thumbs up or give their input about which way they want it to go. Then we don't have to deal with the network like saying you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, this is on the web, this is on our website, so we have a permit to do whatever we want. I feel like Ron Swanson in the park just handing out a piece of paper going, I have permission to do whatever I want.
Yeah. You sign this. No, well, and it's all community driven then too, as far as like it's not how many shows get canceled that everyone really likes, but it may not have got the commercials in their time slot or whatever. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes there, but yours is just driven off the community feedback. If people are really getting into it, then we can just keep doing this.
Yeah, it's our ideology of what decentralized entertainment could be, and supporting the content that you actually want to watch. And it's really not a big issue in the world right now for that kind of space. Like, I love my Netflix subscription and all of that, but it's a really cool way to sort of bridge the gap between a viewer and the creator, and just connecting everybody a lot closer, because that's not anything you can do with a Netflix show. Like, I'd love to be able to connect with some of these Netflix shows and actually get my 2 cents in there, and actually have somebody who writes or creates the show actually read what I write. And that's essentially what we want to offer, is anything that you want to say about the show. I live in the Discord right now, so if you're messaging there, I'm reading it. I know Corn's catching up on it every day, so we're reading what everybody's writing, and we're really looking forward to some of these suggestions that kind of come in.
And much more direct support, because if you're watching Netflix and your favorite show gets canceled, you can't just, I'm going to go subscribe 6 times and hopefully they reinstate this. But when people get into the show, they can continually show support, and by 5 this time, throw even more in. I want to see more of this keep going.
As far as NFT that you've minted so far, do you already have a main character for the series that you want to like work around or make a story around?
Good question. We'll probably have Corn in there.
Animated Corn.
Okay, yeah. That was a series 1 drop. I'm not sure what direction sort of any other characters go. We know we want to throw Windy Mo in there from series 2. Mo was definitely like a fan favorite, and Corn's intentions with him since the creation of Mo. I don't want to speak for Corn, but I think he's always had a bigger purpose.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely characters from series 1 and series 2 are going to kind of pop up in the show. Whether they're, they all can't be main characters, so how long they'll be on is, to be determined. But I definitely know that Corn will probably be, pretty decent, like a pretty main character on the show.
Yeah, that's
I was the other day I was spending probably way too much time thinking about this. I guess the potential like characters and like asking all the questions that would build a world around it. And I say probably too much time because we don't even know if it'll get funded. But yeah, so I don't know if I can't really say anything, because I first have to bring it up to the people who whether like who own a corn gang, and if they like my idea, then we go with it. If not, then it's like, okay,
Right.
try
Back to the
something
drawing
else.
board, yeah.
We'll be in the position to do like character naming contests. We have a show
Yeah.
naming contest already sort of in the works for this. So, we want to get corn gang holders. That'll be the contest that we do. We're not doing a contest just to hand out ADA. We're doing a contest within our community, within our verified channel, that you can come name the show and, put your sort of vote in for which ones you like the best. We'll probably pick like maybe 5 to 7, depending on how many entries we have of stuff that we really stood out to us, and just kind of have like a community vote on what the name of the show can be, and then we can even, Corn will have some characters. We'll throw them up. Yeah, what would you call this character? And just see what sort of names pop
cool.
up and start building everything out like around that.
The show naming, you're planning on maybe like end of the month here or early December, the contest for that?
Yeah, it's on a roadmap for early December, but
Okay.
it could pop up sooner. We just want to make sure we have that verified Discord channel working before we start receiving any entries, because we want to announce it on that sort of verified channel that's where you're able to enter.
Get the drop done first. Yeah, you guys, you got a lot on the plate here, so that makes sense for sure.
We know what we want to set up is realistic within what you can do within an ADA project right now. We're not like, there's a lot of like games that are being promised and this and that, and you really won't see anything for some time. While there are some projects out there that, there's alphas for, and I've really enjoyed playing them and everything. It's, we just didn't want anything to be too good to be true.
Right.
It's another, red flag of mine when I'm looking at projects that I want to buy into, essentially.
They all have those kind of like buzzwords they use, some of those projects, and they just kind of repeat them over and over again. And it's just like, I don't know about this.
My favorite is the when are we racing these? I don't know if you guys are Cardano trees or follow them at all, but they have that El Tano in their community. He's like a guy. He goes, when are we racing these trees? When are we racing the corn? Like that's like the key buzzword for these guys. And and same thing with utility too, right? And so I think for you guys, the fact that you're getting an actual show out there, and for there's something to look forward to outside of just owning the corn gang itself, because owning an NFT right now and just the artwork itself, that's awesome. And you guys drop something out, I got a piece of that, and it's cool to be a holder and part of that community. But the fact that you guys are moving forward with something that could directly impact that, I think that's cool how you guys are bringing the community with you, essentially with this project. So do you guys have plans too for like the actual first episode? Do you have a release window or anything like that? Or estimated release window? It's obviously depending on the sale.
Yeah, I think it's a February and March time that we have it planned out for. We didn't put like an exact date because we don't want to commit ourselves to a deadline and put something out that wasn't as good as we wanted it to be, because we really want it to be something special. So we kind of gave that month to 2 month window just so that we can allow ourselves to put our full effort into it. And if we need an extra couple weeks to wrap some stuff up, then we'll do that. And I think everybody will get a pretty good idea of what sort of place that we're at through our bi-weekly live streams as well, because we'll definitely have tons of updates for that every single time that we're collabing and working on stuff.
Corn, I'm sure you can always find little things that can be changed and edited last minute. This could be a little bit better, or there could be a little more movement added here, a couple more frames. So I'm sure it's giving yourself that kind of extra time, than not pin yourself and limit yourself to what it could be. That makes sense.
Yeah, it also gives us the opportunity to, I guess, step back and see if we do need to hire some of my animator friends to, help me out.
Well, I noticed like some of the animations too that you have are very like movie, like kind of some of the stuff that you have, and it's definitely like a unique style. I think we were talking about that beforehand, like all the different things, just the way they all move and do their thing. Is that just like it's truly like a unique style that I can recognize now from seeing some of your work over time. So that's kind of cool. And I definitely, even going back to the Little Nas X video, going to another one of the music videos like that, the eyes, and especially in throughout your animation, can definitely tell now, hey, that's your work right there. So it's cool. You got like a little signature that you're developing. Even some of the stuff, Jabroni's behind you on that wall there, his eyes remind me of some of that artwork out there. So that's really cool.
That's what originally drew me to Cornelius back in the day as well, was just how the eyes stood out. And I was a big street sort of art graffiti kind of fan back when back in that time. I still am, but I saw that and I was like, I need some of that on my wall. That's what I want to look at every day.
Those are both his pieces, right? That you made?
Yeah, both of these. This one's the first one that he made for me.
Those are so cool.
I basically just said, like, draw whatever you want for that one. It's gonna be like, I know it's gonna be dope. So he just kind of,
that looks really good.
I forget how long it took you, but I think I had it on my wall after like maybe a month after that, and if not, no longer than that. And then the second piece here is Mega Man inspired, just because that's how I grew up and everything with my early gaming days as a kid. Sure. And I just wanted to bring his style to it. And he put Korn put a speed sort of video together for that as well, for coming up with that idea. So it was so cool to not only have it from the video that's on his channel, but I actually have like a video that shows it getting painted by him. So really? Like, what more proof do you need that it's like authentic or anything back in the years? Even though 7 years ago, I was like, you need to sign the backs of these because they're going to be worth something.
Well, 7 years. I mean, did you see him on Twitter, or did you have an Etsy store back then or anything like that? Were you selling art that, people could purchase from you?
I actually went to college with his sister and became good friends with her, and met Korn through that sort of connection.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really doing much of actually selling my paintings, so it was cool that Jabronius bought them.
Yeah, I was going to say, to the two of you guys seem to work pretty well with each other. Was it more of like a, Jabroni is helping, being like, hey, Korn, you got something really good here. You should really start putting some of this stuff out there, and like pushing you a little bit, Korn, to start getting out of your comfort zone, maybe? Because I know it's very intimidating, especially even to us, putting yourself on camera, even talking to people and just seeing what they think about what you do. Do you guys think, do you guys think you guys maybe compliment each other in that aspect?
Jack, Jabronius definitely keeps me on track. It's hard. One of my biggest problems after like school was the lack of structure, and I was just animating things for money on my own. Like, I didn't work for a company, and sometimes I can just convince myself, hey, let's not.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Jack always has something like going on, like a game plan. So he definitely pushes me to stay on track.
Well, that's awesome. I can definitely tell from you guys too. It seems like you guys are a good partnership on what you guys got going here. So it's looking really well. I know we were talking to, but we were speaking back to the actual artwork that you got behind there. We were talking about before we had you guys on. We're like, dude, how cool would it be if we had like a Korn that jumped into our little rocket ship sitting over here that flew off to the moon? We're like, we need to talk to him about some stuff like that, how we could get that working. Because we're over here, and Tom, a lab of spare over on our stream, he does all of our editing and stuff, and he's pretty much learning from scratch again from the past experiences he has. So it's cool to be starting out and working together as a team. So I think that's definitely helped us to kind of come out of our shells, and we started developing our different roles inside the team itself.
Exactly. It's about knowing what your strengths are, and that's how it works so well between me and Korn. Is I know that I'm just so like intertwined in this community and just so far down the rabbit hole that I'm just on it anyway, and Korn is on it as well, just like reading stuff and replying to stuff. But as a project, I want him to be thinking about the artwork and being able to put his focus on that, because that's going to get the best end product. If Korn had to worry about what the next collab might be, or what the next project idea might be back in the day, and who knows what it would come up to. So, but we're always throwing ideas between each other.
Well, yeah,
that wouldn't work out for me. My brain would definitely explode if I had to do all that.
Dude, it's a lot of work as being a one-man show too. So it definitely helps having somebody there who can support you, and especially be complimentary to what you guys are, how you guys work. So that's definitely cool.
Absolutely.
Well, I know I could be one of those people, that'll read a text message and I'll reply in my head, but then forget to actually reply, and then 2 days later reply. So having Tommy and TJ, they sometimes I just don't have the social like energy to be on Twitter all the time. And
Oh yeah.
I'll be there reading and catching up and staying in contact and following everything, but I may not be actually replying actively to everything. That can just, it takes a toll, especially, you know, being able to just focus on maybe just editing like the show or something like that, putting it together real fast for YouTube, and then they can kind of focus on that. It really works well.
Yeah, it's definitely exhausting sitting on there on Twitter. And I had Twitter for 10 years and I've never used, I think I put out like a few tweets, and in the last few months, like I've just been all over it. But it's like you almost have to be if you want to even keep up in this community itself. But it makes you come out of your comfort zone for sure. And same thing with Discord. We used to game all the time, and that was our only interaction inside of Discords. Now we're over here. I think like 100 of them that I need to leave servers on for when these projects all started, you know. That's how even for you guys, I think when you were probably, I think the second actual CNFT Discord I had ever joined. And I didn't even know I was in the old friends until I started coming back and scrolling back down to the bottom. Like, where am I at on here? Like, I need to like clean all this stuff up. So it's been awesome to reconnect with you guys and you know, because yours are literally one of the first ones that I've ever held. So
Remember how
cool.
you saw that, Tommy? Was it just your, I mean, it was early on, just kind of looking into early projects and buying them, or?
I have no idea how I even got. So I think it was from the collab bits, was literally from it, because I bought a Cardano bit. It was like the first thing I saw, and then I saw the one of one somebody had, and I was like, that's really cool. What is that artwork? And then ended up seeing it was the real, you know, your website, logged on to it. I was like, oh, there's a series 2 drop right now. Let me go ahead and get that. Bought the whole set that night. It was like the 3rd, 4th NFT I'd ever got. And then was trying to mint the 101s afterwards. And from there, I've always, you know, kind of just held on and bought some of the collabs that you guys have done recently. And, you know, always been following it on the sidelines and, you know, during this growing space. And now to see that you guys are where you're at right now, it's cool to reconnect with your guys' stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Our early Discord was a bit subpar. I would say it was more like a kind of customer service, kind of reach us immediately if you need us kind of thing. And, you know, maybe about a month or two, we actually really looked at it and went, how can we make this more of a community? I want to make this more of a community for people to come and chat with us and make it way more inviting and easier to navigate. And one of the guys on our team, Cecil, has done an amazing job at that. So, you know, I'll always tip my hat off to him. He's our web guy. So he developed the Corn Gang website, the Corn and Friends website. He's done some amazing stuff for us.
Yeah, definitely. Discord is one of those things where it seems like you almost have to have that now as the actual project in order to connect with your fans. It's just like a deeper level, but it gets direct access to you guys too. And so the more you're active in there, I definitely think that helps grow that community organically. That's something probably we need to look into as well. We've been talking about it for a while. So, well, yeah, I know we're getting wrapping towards the back end of this here. So,
I wanted to ask for the mint coming, I guess today's the 15th, so it's on Wednesday, the 17th. It's going to affect the show where, depending on how well it ends up selling out, will also affect kind of the progress and episode count for the show itself.
Exactly. So we have it in our roadmap. We have it in our show info now. So if we get to 30% sold out, there'll be a guaranteed 2 episodes. If we get up to 90%, it's guaranteed full season, which is going to be 6 episodes, about 5 to 10 minutes per show. It's just basically what we're only asking for 20 ADA for each Corn Gang. So it's really what is kind of funding the show. We definitely could have doubled that price and then only had to get to, you know, like 50% sold, but we'd rather, you know, offer something that's way more reasonable than, you know, trying to go with what the market par seems to be right now, I guess. Or, you know, I just see so many projects come out that are 50 ADA and 44 ADA and 40 ADA, and it seems like
8 ADA.
you know, like an arm and a leg just to get into it, and we didn't necessarily want that to be the case.
We've talked about that some on some of the past episodes, like, you know, how you get a fair valuation on your actual art, but then also kind of giving yourself the room to grow, because if you start at 60, 70, 150 ADA and it doesn't stay there right away, then everyone's like, this failed, I'm jumping out. And then it just tanks after that, where if you see these projects, you know, Spoopy, I know the Halloween was like 5. What was this? The Space Apes recently, I think was like 13. And it kind of gives it that space to grow and build on itself for the people that are especially interested in that part of it. But then, like you said, it's accessible for people that just want to support the show. It's not you know, 208 or something crazy like that. It's definitely like a reasonable way to get in.
Well, I was going to say too, at 28, that's not a bad mint price at all, because again, it makes that rare. I've seen some of the corns through, and you know, the artwork is very high quality, and some of the attributes on there are really fun. So if somebody doesn't get something maybe they like right in the beginning, you know, 28 is not a bad investment to go back into it again and want to be like, hey, let me get a chance at another cool one like that. And speaking of the actual attributes themselves, I did see some of the lobster claws and things like that. How did you guys come up with some of those designs? Was that just some fun stuff that you wanted to put on them, or how did you come up with some of the actual design elements for that?
A lot of it was just whatever I felt like drawing with. Like I kind of have to follow like I'm a prisoner to my creative process.
Yeah.
So if it's like wherever my hand takes me. But I just like putting funny things on it. But like my favorite one is the Your Mom shirt.
I was just gonna ask you, what is your guys' favorite ones you're minting? So you put more time in the Your Mom shirt, huh? That's pretty cool.
I wouldn't even say I put more time into it. It's just like, it's just a little
So corn.
Little
Simple ones that just get you. Yeah.
Well,
And I'm sure, yeah, you just start putting something together sometimes. You start, you know, sit down, putting, you know, something on the pad and see what comes up, and then
yeah.
get some feedback and change it up a little bit or whatever. What were you gonna say, Tommy?
I was gonna say, I remember us talking about it. We are like, what do you think his creative process was for getting all the attributes? And you were like, if it was me, I would just probably draw something funny. What I think is fun, you know, putting them on my guys, right?
It's like two questions. Is this funny, or like, would that be tight? Like, yeah, that looks dope. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I basically just like accumulated all of these traits first, and then started taking them and going, okay, like which ones seem more desirable, which ones make more sense to be rare. So one of my favorite ones is this alien hat, and it's not so much of a hat, it's more of like a cutout in his forehead, and there's a little alien popping out, sort of suggesting like an alien sort of controlling the corn.
Yeah.
And I think there's 100 or so instances of that one. I don't remember exactly how many came out of our generative sort of coding, but
And then-
there are some really rare ones out
I've been
there.
always curious about that. So when you guys do that, do you also, for some of like your favorite traits, do you get to set maybe some of like the percentages you want it to generate, like beforehand?
Exactly.
Okay, cool, nice. I like that. I've always been curious about that. That's what we kind of started doing these for, was for some questions like that. We've been interested in the other side of the process because we don't get to see that as much.
For sure.
I was gonna say, are there any rare or one-of-ones inside the thing, or is it all
Well,
all
technically, they're
10,000?
all.
Well, I mean, like super rare. So like, not like that, right? I mean, is there like a popped corn in any of these things? Like
a cornbread?
Yeah, like something like a kernel sitting around, like just something surprise that we may not know about right now. Or
Nothing too crazy like that. I think we know what the top 21 rankings will be, just because we know what the rarest trait is, but it'll be because we'll be listed on CNFT tools when everything starts minting as well. So it'll be interesting to see where everything ranks. I don't know where everything ranks, but I took that sort of ideology that like backgrounds really shouldn't affect rareness. They will in this case with the top ones, but we really didn't want like your pink background to be rarer than a black background, because that just doesn't make, you know, NFT sense to me. And then the shirts, I think we have like 38 different ones of those, and there's you know, they're all kind of spread out between 100 and maybe like 300 per shirt, and then there's a good amount that don't have any shirt. And then there's ones that don't have hats as well, and that sort of same sense where we kind of have common, uncommon, and rarer traits. And then we also took the number of traits and made that into a trait as well. So if you get like a no hat, no shirt, that one actually ends up being like of 8% rarity having that combo.
That's
we'll
awesome.
We'll see like a little. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, interesting to see how it all goes. It's like it reminded me a lot. We wanted to kind of do something like Space Buds did with the gadgets and the number of gadgets being in it, but it's way scaled down from what Space Buds did. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think that, I mean, it all looks, it's cool that you guys can dictate how you want the rarity for some of that stuff to be. Obviously, it's your project on that, but it's fun too, because the community also will start to develop their own. If it's like a naked corn or something like that, they may say, hey, even though it's not as rare, I like that one better. And, you know, those become like the community picks for certain things, and people develop based on certain traits. You know, they may have like that alien coming out of the head. There may be a whole little subgroup of that
alien gang. Yeah, everyone gets together for sure.
I'm looking for the Your Mom gang now. I want that.
Yeah,
one.
Mom.
Yeah, you're part of Your Mom. Yeah, you get a special Discord server. Your Mom. Yeah. So, well, we appreciate. Yeah.
All right, one more thing. No, well, you said so 90% sale is all 6 episodes, but I did see the roadmap. I looked earlier. I saw it was added today. 100%. That means, well, one, it'd be CNFT Con, which we've seen. We talked about ourselves in Las Vegas, but you guys might be getting some tattoos also.
Yeah, I'll probably be getting it anyway, just to be honest with you. It's
so would you be getting like a favorite corn, or is Cornelius, are you making Jabronius get an animated Cornelius on him?
Well, you could do animated tattoos, that'd be dope. But no, it'll probably just be like we did a drawing for the 6 team members to all get one, so that we can have our PFBs all lined up and everything.
Nice.
So by the RNG of it all, I'll probably just roll with the one that I got on there.
Nice.
Okay.
And for me, I feel a little weird about getting my own art tattooed on me, so I'll have to figure out like an American traditional like twist on it.
Right.
Yeah. You don't want your own cartoon self on your body? You get a big version on your back like Steve-O had.
Right. Could you imagine? You'll never see it, right?
No.
Yeah.
True.
But so that, I mean, we appreciate you guys jumping in. I know we're getting towards the back end of this. Is there anything else that you want to kind of wrap up on this? Where can everybody find you at? When the final drop details, all that stuff. If they want to get into Corn Gang, where should they look?
For sure. It's going to be November 17th at 1800 UTC. You can find sales info on our website, corngang.io. You can come on our Discord and find a bunch of drop info. And you can find our Discord through our Twitter, which is twitter.com/cornandfriends, spelt out. So yeah, come join us on Discord. We're always there. Come ask us questions. We're ready for anything because we're super ready for this project and to get started on it. So we definitely appreciate you guys sitting down with us and chatting about it. You guys had some amazing comments and questions, and we definitely appreciate that.
Oh yeah, thanks for the time, guys. Yeah, we really appreciate it. It's cool learning some of this stuff too, hearing some of the other side.
I will say I didn't follow directions on your website, and I hit the don't click. So definitely got him. I was like, damn it.
Yeah,
damn it, they got me.
We were prepping for last night, and all of a sudden I hear the Rickroll music in there. I'm like, what the hell is going on? He's like, dude, don't click the button. And I'm like, I gotta go click it now.
Got me.
I love a dead meme.
It was good. I loved it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, that's awesome, man. It's been fun talking to you guys, and
absolutely.
No, we're looking forward to Corn Gang for sure. We'll definitely be there on Wednesday night. I think after this, we'll go ahead and let that trailer roll when we drop the video for you guys as well, just to kind of fade that away. But yeah, just that we appreciate it having you guys on, and hopefully we'll get to talk again sometime soon.
That'd be awesome.
But
sounds good.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate it, and appreciate everybody checking us out. See you guys on the next Freedom 35ers.
Bye. Announcement.
In a world where JPEGs rule, where corn and cobs collide, one team will birth the most righteous empire of 10,000 higher beings. Corn and Friends presents Corn Gang. Your wildest dreams have been answered. But there is more. Much more. Your one-of-a-kind Corn Gang NFT unlocks exclusive access to the very first animated series on Cardano. Lead animation by the real Cornelius, with a community-driven storyline. Be a part of history and join the gang today on Discord and Twitter. Coming soon to the